giving me perspective. Oh, my contact lens. Hey everybody, so, you know when you say something that you don't realize is a thing until you say it? Or somebody says something and you realize that that's part of reality? Or it's like when you look up from Tumblr after 5 hours and realize that you haven't drunk any water or eaten any food or gone outside today, except in real life. That's something that kind of happened when I was talking to my therapist this one time. So basically, I'm doing my thing. I go and I'm like, hey, Dr. Coates. And he's like, hey, it's CJ, because that's what I go by in my usual life. And we're just chatting. I'm like, I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing all these things. I'm going to work. I'm walking my dog. I'm doing my chores at home, not fighting with my parents. I'm doing whatever they want me to do because that's just how parents are. I'm just doing all these things and I'm working on all this stuff that I've been trying to work on. And he says, okay, we've been talking about for 15 minutes and I've been talking about all the things that I'm trying to do to improve my life circumstances. And he says this thing and he looks at me and he says, so what's something that you did for you? For me? I didn't think that was part of the deal here, trying to improve my own life, that I had to do things to make myself happy and mentally stable. It just I had to sit there for a full 30 seconds. He was probably very worried about me, realizing oh, all of this stuff that I was working on externally, outside of myself, focusing on keeping specific relationships because they were friendships. I was in that phase where I was talking to him about my struggle with relationships and friendships, like I mentioned in my last video. And I was working on school, I was working at work, I was probably doing other complicated things that are annoying to try to remember. But I hadn't really been focusing on doing anything that I specifically wanted to do. I was doing writing projects, but a lot of those were things I'd gotten requests for in certain fandoms I was in, or beating myself up about how they weren't as good as I wanted to be, or trying to edit stories as I wrote them, which we all know is not the best. And I'm still trying to work on that. But I just hadn't really been focusing on things that I wanted to do. And ever since that time, if we've had time, he's remembered to ask me, what have you done for you since we last spoke? And it kind of given me perspective on what I really do need to be working on. Yes, I do need to go to work so I can have money and not die in a hole someday. I do need to have an okay relationship with my parents, as I'm still living in their house, and they're my parents and I care about them. And yes, it's true, I do need to keep relationships afloat because I am an extrovert and there's so many things that I need to work on externally. But there's also things that unfortunately are important to care about myself, which I do care about myself. It's just kind of hard going from a place where that wasn't a thing, going to a place where now I need to act on my own wants and needs and desires, etc. It's just one of those things that when you're stressed and in the closet or coming out of the closet or dealing with various mental health issues, you don't really focus on a lot because you're I need to focus on these things first. It's those hierarchy of needs things. But once those needs are met, you aren't done because that's just the baseline, folks. That is what you need to literally stay alive. Stay alive or staying thriving. I did not rhyme that. It's just a thing that I've been trying to work on in the past couple months since we had this conversation. And it's been actually really freaking difficult to do things for myself without anybody telling me to do those things. I will go to Dungeons and Dragons night every week with my friends, which is a thing for me, but I also feel super stressed out and obligated to go. So if there's a time where I'm will I be able to go? Will I be late? Will I be way too early? What's going on? It's this high stress situation that I super enjoy it once I get past that stress, but it's still something that's not exclusively for me. What he meant by what have you done for you is what's something you have done that really will only impact you. And so I was well, I do have a YouTube channel that I really love to make, and I make videos about things that I think other people would enjoy. And okay, this might not be exclusively for me, even though they are fun to make, because I like to stand in my room and talk to myself while staring at my computer camera lights set up for 10-15 minutes, depending on how long I ramble. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I've done that's for me. And since that conversation, I have gotten myself a Nintendo Switch, even though I've been trying to save up money for a while. I had a lot saved up, and I didn't have any pressing emergencies right then, and quarantine was about to become a huge thing, and I was like, okay, this is something that is going to only really affect me. It's going to affect my budget. It's going to affect my quality of life in the next coming months, where I can't really do anything else, and I can't go see my friends. So I got myself a Nintendo Switch and some games, and I've had a lot more time where I'm just doing something that calms me down instead of stresses me out, because the games I play, like, I have games that have, like, levels and you have to, like, do things, but mostly I play Animal Crossing, which is just calming as anything, and Minecraft in peaceful mode because the monsters stress me out. I have some normal mode games that are mostly in creative, but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make right now, mostly to myself so that I continue doing this as I try to work on moving out and moving past this part of my life, is doing things just because I want to do them. No strings attached. Like, I got myself to this point in my life mainly by myself, with the help of a few others, like my friends and select family members and my therapist. But for the most part, it has been me getting myself to the point in my life where I have savings, where I have enough connections and savings and a steady job and a reliable car that I can do these other things. And constantly beating myself up about that and, like, not doing things that I want to do, the fact that I got myself this far in life shouldn't be something that I just forget and that I don't treat that person well. If I've done more for myself than anyone else has done in my entire life, because I've been the one in here thinking, should I do this? Doing things, keeping myself the way I am, and changing the things that I need to change, being the person that I wanted to be. I've driven myself to the point where I'm standing here right now. Why would I be mean to that person that got me this far? Why would I be cruel, even, or indifferent to somebody who has literally risked everything to be where I am right now, to let me be where I am right now? Why would I not give that person something they definitely deserve? And I'm not saying I deserve tons of great things because I'm a great person, because unfortunately, I don't really know if I am a great person. But I'm not a bad person. I've done things for myself, and I do deserve good things. And everyone deserves good things, even if they feel like they don't even matter. Because sometimes, yeah, I've told you, I've been working so hard on feeling like I'm important, like I have an impact on the world, so that I don't want to leave the world. But it's not a perfect thing. There are still days where I feel like I'm never going to affect anyone. I'm never going to leave this bedroom. I'm never going to be able to move out. I'm going to lose all my friends. Everything is going to come crashing back down. There's been a lot of those during quarantine, because before quarantine, I had my life together way better than I do now, let me tell you. And then suddenly something that I can't control changes, and the reliability of everyday life was gone. But I'm still here. I'm still okay. And I'm still doing things for myself that I deserve. I'm still ordering myself fun t-shirts from somebody's store that they sent the link to on Tumblr. I'm still buying myself new Dungeons and Dragons dice sets because I deserve those shiny metallic little dudes. They're so awesome. I'll do a Dungeons and Dragons video sometime where I just talk about it or something. But I've worked hard to be a person, and I feel like I kind of deserve to be nice to myself. And a lot of the times, I haven't felt like that, and it's really nice to feel like that. And my therapist is actually one of the people that have helped me a lot, along with several other creators on, like, Tumblr and YouTube that have addressed these topics before. Probably way more popular than me since I've seen their videos. But I just want to be able to impact people the way that so many other creators have impacted me and helped to lift me up by sharing these similar messages. And I want to say, even though you've probably heard it before, if you've seen this video, I hope I'm not the first YouTuber you've ever watched in your life, because that would be very, very strange. I only have 55 subscribers. What do you mean? Anyway, I just want to help spread positivity through the world. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've wanted to be a teacher. I've wanted to be an author. I wanted to be a YouTuber, which I actually am, just not a YouTuber that makes money, because I actually work at Home Depot for standing up every day. It's the worst. But just be nice to yourself sometimes. Or if you can't be nice to yourself, it's okay to be indifferent to yourself. Just working past the negativity of yourself is what is the most important thing, especially if you're just starting a journey of self-acceptance. But it's not about that today. Buy yourself an ice cream cone. Buy yourself a Nintendo Switch if you have that much money, which I know a lot of people don't. I'm just very privileged. I'm so sorry. Hug a dog. Pet a dog. Look at pictures of the dog on the internet while you're sitting in your bed feeling sad. You'll probably feel a little less sad, unless you're scared of dogs, in which case, don't do that. My point is, fam, thoughts, which is my viewers' names. I'm aware most of you are my friends, and I will call you thoughts. Just get yourself a present sometimes. You should gift a gift to the person that's done everything for you. And you know who that is? It's you. But yeah. World's a crazy, crazy place. I'm not going to turn into one of those adverts that's like, in this time of trial and tribulation, you should buy a boat. I'm not going to turn into one of those adverts. So just be nice to yourself, and that's about everything I have to say about this without getting overly emotional. I've already been talking for so long. If you like this video and you want me to do more mental health videos, let me know in the comments. Or if you want me to do more ramblings like my past few videos, let me know in the comments of any videos. You can subscribe by hitting a button down below, and you can hit a bubble with my icon on it. That's somewhere on the screen. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do when I edit this video. And you can see my last video also on the screen somewhere. So that's everything for today. Hasta la pasta. I'll see you next time.